I know what it's like to feel old, but life doesn't have to stop when you see your first wrinkle. I'm 71, and I've never felt better. I remember watching the Summer Olympics one year and just being in complete awe of the U.S. women's gymnastics team. Now, I grew up in Connecticut in the 50s, and while I did play some sports, there just weren't any gymnastics classes near me. Years later, I shared an elevator ride with an incredibly fit woman who taught a small gymnastics class up the street. I had always wanted to learn how to do a handstand and a pull-up, so I went to my first class. And I loved it so much, I went to all 5 classes the next week. Now, I'm not an athlete. I was an art major. But like most people my age, I wondered if the best days of my life were behind me. But going to that first gymnastics class began a new chapter for me. I found that I could learn a new sport and I could get better at it. Here I was in my late 60s pursuing an interest sparked all those years before, and I firmly believe it would not have been possible without the help of Liquid BioCell collagen. I know, it seems like everyone's talking about collagen, and like most people today, I didn't even know what it was or why it was so important. I've since learned that collagen is in nearly every part of our body, and it's the protein that helps our tissues stay strong. Collagen loss is a major factor that contributes to how we look and feel as we age. And since we lose about 1% a year in our 20s, it's no wonder everyone's talking about it. You are so lucky. I didn't find out about this until I was 60. I'm 71. That's 11 years of looking younger and supporting my joints with Liquid BioCell. The composition of Liquid BioCell most closely resembles our own human composition of collagen, HA, and chondroitin sulfate, so our bodies recognize it as its own. That's why we only need to take a little bit of it, a tablespoon in the morning and a tablespoon at night. It reduces my skin aging and improves my joint mobility, so I can do things in the gym I only used to dream about. But don't take my word for it. I think the way I live speaks for itself. I may be in my 70s, but I live a young life. You aren't over the hill, you're just climbing a new one. So whatever your version is of learning to do a pull-up, just get out there and do it. Because you are so much more than your age.